Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Safety Study Group's YouTube channel. And now we will talk about noise exposure, what is meant by noise, what is meant by sound, what is meant by voice, and what are the exposure limits for noise, when is it safe, when is it not safe, all of these things. And we will talk about the grass theory. If you haven't heard the grass theory before, you're in for a treat. So, noise. By definition, according to the Oxford Dictionary, one of the definitions is noise is a sound, especially one that is loud or unpleasant that causes disturbance. Okay, so we know it's a sound, we know it's unpleasant, we know it's loud, we know it causes disturbance. Okay, now what is voice and what is sound? Can voice be sound and sound be voice? Can both be noise? Okay, let's see. Voice is anything that comes from humans. Okay, when you are talking, you're producing voice. When I am speaking to you now, you are hearing my voice. That's one. Sound is any audio you hear from non-humans. Any audio you hear from non-humans. Also, you can hear sounds from me. This is a sound. Can you hear the sound of my voice? Another example of sound. Now, noise is different. Noise is basically anything that is loud, unpleasant, and it causes disturbance. Now, so a noise is a sound or a voice that is at a very high decibel. Decibel is a measure that is used to measure sound. It's the name of the measurement unit. You know, you have a meter, you have kilogram, you have pound, you have mile, kilometers. Same. Decibel is the measure, is the unit used to measure sound. Okay, so now voice is from humans, sound is from non-humans. Noise, it's a combination of both. So too many voices at the same time in a crowded market, in a movie theater, this is noise. It causes disturbance. But we're not really concerned with that. We're concerned with the noise that is produced from machinery, from engines, from rockets, from cars, from machines. This is the type of noise that hurts humans, and this is what we will be focusing on in the next few parts of this video. This is an example of talking in a noisy environment. If I speak in a normal voice, you will not be able to hear me correctly. This is an example of talking in a noisy environment. If I talk in my normal voice, you will not be able to hear me. I will be forced to increase the volume of my voice so you can hear me. Okay, now let's talk about the exposure limits to noise. Noise is measured by decibels, like we said. The permissible exposure limit, now OSHA has increased it to 90, but okay. The permissible exposure limit, it means the highest level we can be exposed to as employees in the workplace is 85 decibels. 85 decibels. So, 85 decibels for how long? We can be exposed to 85 decibels for 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So, if every day you're working in a place and the sound level or the noise level is at 85 decibels and you have to work there for 5 days a week, this is the limit. This is the limit. Now, what happens if this 85 becomes 86? Now, the employer must take action to protect you. They can control the noise at the source. Okay, First, they can, follow the hierarchy of control, elimination, isolation, blah, blah, all of that. They can eliminate the noise at the source. They can eliminate it completely, or reduce it at the source, or isolate it, take many, many actions. But at the end, they will have to provide you with PPE. Okay, you have earplugs and you have earmuffs. You can use this one or this one. They all have, they both have limitations and advantages. We will not be talking about this, unfortunately. But sometimes you will be required to wear the earmuff. Sometimes you'll be required to wear the earplugs. And also, if these levels are exceeded and no action is taken, there will be legal action taken against the employer. But more on that on a different day. Now let's focus on the noise itself and what is the GRASS theory. The GRASS theory. There is something in English called GRASS. Okay? In Arabic it's known by many names, but probably the most popular one is al-ushb, the green grass. Okay? So the grass, as we know, it's like that. These people, our neighbors, they have a sheep and they're killing me with it. Anyways, the grass is green basically. It's like this. Okay? Standing up straight. If you don't step on it, if you don't touch it, it's like this. It is straight. Now, what happens if you step on the grass? You step on it, it will go like this, and it will come back, right? Step on it, go like this and come back. But if you continuously step on it, over and over and over and over and over and over and over, it will no longer come back. It will die. It will be like this. Okay? It will be like this. It will no longer come back. Same thing happens with sounds, noise, voices that we hear. When we hear sound waves, they go inside our outer ear, then the drum, then the cochlea, there's the hair cells, the liquid. I don't want to sound too technical, but basically inside the cochlea, we have hair cells like this, okay? They are hair cells. These are like the receivers, okay? They call them the hair bundle. More on that in a minute. They pick up the sound, they turn them into electrical signals, they send them down the cell. This is a bigger picture of the hair cell. So the hair cell has hair bundles, which is the receiver. They pick up the sound waves from the liquid, they send it down and interpret it into things that our brain understands, as you are understanding me now. So what happens here is that when we hear the voices, the voice go inside and they move these hairs like this. Okay, they ride the wave like this. They go back and forth, if the sound is okay. But if it's a high noise, if it's too much noise, what will happen is these cells will no longer go right and left, and they will no longer be straight. They will be like they stepped on grass, and they will no longer move. This means that your hearing will be damaged, and you will suffer for the rest of life. So for you to avoid this happening, you need to have your hearing tested occasionally or based on your employer's risk assessment. And as an employer, you have to make sure that your employees that are working in loud, noisy areas need to take regular hearing checks. There are some contributing factors that will speed up the process of noise-induced deafness, or industrial deafness as it's known. The first one is age. How old are you? If you are of age, it means that if you're old in age, it means that you've been exposed to many different noises, maybe during the war, maybe in your day-to-day life. The first one is age. So the higher the number of your age, the more likely it is for you to damage your hearing. If you're working in an industrial area, where too many loud noises will be. The second one is frequency. How often are you exposed to the noises? How often are you exposed to the noises? The third one is intensity. How much of the noise are you exposed to? Or you can say concentration, okay? What decibel are you being exposed to? If it's above 85, then it's considered noise, okay? So, are you exposed to more than 85 decibels? If you are, then this is a noise, and the more intense the noise, the higher the number, the more likely it is for you to lose your hearing. And the last one is personal susceptibility. Personal susceptibility is basically, you know, when there is a new virus or anything, they say the susceptible groups are, now we have COVID-19 going on, they say the susceptible people are children and old people, okay? Susceptible means they are more likely to get it, okay? More likely to get COVID-19. People that don't have good immune system, they are more likely to get COVID-19, all right? So who is more likely to lose their hearing? It depends on your personal susceptibility. If you're not exposed to noise, if you're young, healthy, and you exercise well, and you have good immune system, you are fine, okay? And if the noises you're exposed to are not for a long time, and they're, you know, just a little while, okay, good. That being said, you can lose your hearing for a short period of time if you're exposed to loud noises, even for a short while. We said it's 85 decibels, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. But if somebody fires a gun right next to your ear, right here, boom, what's gonna happen? There's too much concentration of noise next to your ear. So what will happen now? You will lose your hearing in this ear for a short period of time, but it will return later. It's not industrial deafness, but you did expose your ear to too much noise, okay? If it happens to this ear, it's the same. If you're next to a jet that is taking off, same. Rocket, same, okay? So I didn't want to get too technical in this class. I didn't want to, or this video. I didn't want to be too technical or anything in this video, but I just wanted like an introduction to noise, okay? Hopefully it was short, it was painless, and you didn't lose your hearing because of this video. I'll see you in the next one.